For Daily Ask Reddit. Pawn shop employees of Reddit. What's the weirdest story you've heard about an item? If you like the video, drop a like and subscribe so you never miss our daily videos. Didn't work at a pawn shop, but had the funniest experience shopping at one. I was buying a sword. The guy was a super hilarious and witty dude with deadpan humor, had me laughing the whole time, was really trying to sell me on this gigantic two-handed monstrosity when I really just wanted the saber. I also looked at the rings, and he'd match his opinion to mine, but exaggerated if I said, "Wow, that's kind of pretty." He'd say, "I've never seen a more beautiful piece in all of my life." If I said, "Actually I hate it," he'd say, "You're right, duck that ring." At one point some random old man walked in with a piece of rusty gardening equipment. The pawn shop guy immediately yelled, "I told you to keep your shit out of here, duck off." The old guy left immediately without batting an eye, and the pawn shop guy explained, "This guy comes in every day trying to sell me random shit from who knows where." Anyway, at the end of the visit the guy was like, "Hey, I don't normally do this, but you seemed really cool. Do you want to hold my walrus penis?" Naturally I was like, "What the duck?" It turned out to be some item that felt like a bone, inscribed with a bunch of symbols, but he said it was a dried walrus penis and let me take a picture with it. TLDR, pawn shop guy let me take a picture with his walrus penis. One time a person came in with an antique jar and said, "We just spread grandma's ashes." I know an employee, he tells me stories. I worked for a department store that sold home goods. One day I was sifting through returns and found a box of canisters, like the ones you put in your kitchen for storage. I opened the box just to make sure everything was there. We often had employees process returns for empty boxes and saw some black print on the bottom. When I went to take a closer look, it was the name and address of a local funeral home / crematorium. Needless to say, that item did not go back on the shelf. Close saint I got was I worked one summer at a video game store where we bought and sold used games and consoles, etc. Girl who was clearly underage, looked like she was 12 or 13, tried to sell us the games her kids didn't play anymore. And it was just hilarious. First she said she was 18, which was the minimum you had to be, and she produced the worst fake license, like pure McLovin style. I rejected it. The owner was there, and when she Karen to talk to that manager, same thing, he rejected it. Yet she still thought we were gonna buy her PS1 games. Thing is, only 2 or 3 had boxes and all the games were clearly burned, like plain CDRs with the names written on them in marker. He swore they were real and the labels just fell off. Owner guy was just laughing at her, and she was trying to sell us on the fact we should buy them. But one of the games wasn't even released yet. She claimed she just got it early from the guys who made it, so we should pay extra to get it. Then I looked at the bottom of them, none were even burned. I knew the pre-release wasn't going to be real, but she didn't even put effort in. They were all just blank CDs. Anyways, we had no idea what her end game was supposed to be. There was no way she was gonna succeed, but she was so pissed that she didn't. When the owner mentioned calling the police, she finally left quickly, but my god. I manage a pawn shop. We had a guy bring in this massive metal box with what looked like a screen across one side. This thing has to be like 3 feet across. We asked him what it is, to which he replies, "Oh, it's a beacon." What? So turns out it's one of those massive red lights from radio towers. We obviously tell him we can't take it, but when we asked where he had gotten it, he simply replied, "I got it off a job site from work." I can't help but imagine this guy climbing a radio tower to steal a beacon to then sell for what I can only imagine is a meth binge. I also had a guy try to sell me pewter knobs from a jewelry cabinet that were painted gold. Those are 24 karat gold. I cast them myself. The best part is that they were unpainted on one side, so you could clearly see it was painted. A list of other weird shit I've been asked to buy: crystals, city water meters, used cookware, Vietnamese currency, DirecTV remote, edit, also one-time teeth with gold fillings. I worked in a pawn shop a few years ago. A middle-aged dude brought in a human hand. It was preserved somehow. I don't know how they do it, or if it was even real. It looked really real though, definitely not just wax. He said it was his great-great-grandfather's, who was some famous general, but I doubt it. We didn't end up buying it, obviously. I had a well-known lord who owns land in the UK pawn his family's antique sterling silver dinner plates. The item was way overdue, and we didn't hear anything from him. So I called him to find out if he wanted the plates, and he got offended because I didn't use his title. So I just sold the fucking things for a good amount of profit. Not a pawn shop, but retail management after Christmas. Lady came in to return a coat that she had bought for her son. Kid refused to wear it. Not because it didn't fit or any of the usual reasons. Kid refused to wear it because, and I quote, a poor boy at school has the same one. Also had someone try to return a pair of Jordans. The outside looked pristine, but the inside was dirty and covered in grass bits. Took the shoes out of the bag and almost threw up on the register from the face full of bleach fumes. Our best guess was that they had used a bleach pen to clean the shoes to return them. Yeah, no, they got to keep their shoes and spent the next half hour getting over the nausea.